And rhino poaching is on the rise once again in the Eastern Cape after a 4.5-year lull. Just this year, 7 rhino have been poached for their horns. These endangered animals are close to the verge of extinction. Last year saw a sharp decline in poaching incidents in the Kruger National Park. Awareness and fundraising efforts are still continuing.
I'm here at the Paxton Hotel where 16 riders are about to hit the road to cycle for 7 days to raise awareness about rhino poaching. Currently in the Eastern Cape, the situation is quite dire, where 7 rhinos have been poached this past year, and I mean we're only in March, and these 16 cyclists are looking to raise funds, to raise awareness for decollaring and dehorning, or collaring rather, and dehorning. I'm joined now by Sharon Jessup just to tell us about the situation. Sharon, thank you for joining us. How dire is the rhino poaching situation in the Eastern Cape?
Kim, as you know, it is actually quite serious at the moment, and our rhinos are under attack. Yes, we had 7 rhinos poached recently in the Eastern Cape after a lull of 4.5 years. So we really do need to support these reserves and, raise the funds to dehorn, to collar, and to make sure that the anti-poaching unit members spend less time looking for the animals in the bush and more time actually protecting them.
Sharon, why do we think there was such a lull for such a long time, for 4.5 years, and now all of a sudden there's a spike? Do we think there's a reason for this?
Absolutely, Kim. So basically, your Kruger populations and the northern KwaZulu-Natal populations of rhinos have pretty much been decimated in your public parks. Obviously, our private parks are a little bit more protected. And the reason why we in the Eastern Cape are a bit more protected from poaching is because we don't have international or national borders. We don't have another country bordering the Eastern Cape, and it's also much more difficult for them to get the rhino horns out. But as the Kruger and the KwaZulu-Natal numbers of rhinos are declining, they are going to hone in on us. And that is a problem for us.
As you said, these poachers are now obviously migrating from KZN to us because we have more rhino than they do. But as we understand, rhinos are endangered species. What are the stats looking like right now?
So the stats are looking quite abysmal. Apparently, according to the ones that do the census of the rhinos, we have more or less 27,000 rhinos left in the wild. We believe it's much less. We believe the number to be closer to about 13,000. So these animals are really under pressure. They're really critically endangered at this point in time.
You have obviously done your own exhibitions where you've run for rhino, all the way up to the Limpopo border post. These 16 cyclists are now obviously taking on the road to go to Cape Town. How important are these exhibitions to raise awareness for this important issue?
It is so extremely important. I found on my 3-month running expedition last year that South African people are still very much unaware of just how massive this crisis is. So the more awareness we can get out there, the better. The more people that get involved to raise that awareness and obviously to raise funds, the better. We need more people that actually do something other than just caring about the crisis. So we need the message out there, and we need people to show solidarity against poaching of rhinos.
Sharon, thank you so much. That was Sharon Jessup, activist for these rhino, and also she does expeditions, as I said earlier, to raise awareness about rhino poaching and how endangered the species are. She was saying we had a 4.5-year lull where no rhino poaching happened here in the Eastern Cape, but it recently did spike, and her suspicions is that because these poachers usually zone in on the KZN Natal area, because the numbers are looking a bit low, they are now migrating here. So it is a great concern for us here in the Eastern Cape. We will be catching up with Sharon and the cyclists for the rest of the week to see how they go.